curious, you didn't just make a jump from academia to business. You went full, full Monty to entrepreneurism. And entrepreneurism is not for everyone. So did you think you were going to be an entrepreneur and leave academia, or did you want to leave academia and thought you'd go into business? I mean, what happened first?
I was, if I knew now, knew then what I knew now. I wanted to be doing translation, and I think I'll be honest, like I did the naive thing that I've noticed some other academics do, which is like, we did this great work. Here it is on a silver platter. Why is no one taking it? Right. And as I tried to ask why, which is, something you do a lot in sort of like user-centered design and product strategy, right? Is like asking why, right? Like those were things I never had to think about in my academic lab. And I started to learn a little bit more about that. I was fortunate to get to work on a consulting project on my, sort of little bit of time you have to do that as an academic with an innovative health system that wanted to, from a mission perspective, engage in cancer prevention, which was a lot of where I spent my time as an academic. And they were looking for expertise on what would an evidence-based like cancer prevention program look like. And we put together a plan for them, and they said, this is great. Like, execute it, right? Like, who do we hire to execute it? And then one day, my dear colleague, Gary Bennett, who had, is the only academic I knew at that point who had left academia and come back. And he called me one day and said, we just wrapped a clinical trial in my lab. And I think it checks these boxes of the things you're saying you think are important when we have those conversations. Would you talk to the team about it? And I said, sure. So we talked about it, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, totally checks these boxes. And, and he was like, cool, so you'll do it. Right. And it was like,
One of the things that you said is key for entrepreneurs is you were asked to do a task, and then they said, well, who's going to implement this? And there was a gap in the market. There was a
yep,
need.
good, excellent point.
You had people to collaborate with. Now,
Yes.
granted, you were the one who ended up leaving academia, but there were three of you. And often three is a magic number because it brings different people. Like, one has the tech expertise, one has the market view, one has the finance, but that team is really super important for success.
It is. It totally is. And we were all scientists, so that's probably not the math for success. I had gone back and I had taken a mini sabbatical, like partial sabbatical for 3 months to go learn to code at a coding boot camp. And part of the curriculum there was around like business model planning and financial models and working through all of that. Gary had done it before and is also like a computer nerd. Dory's husband is a software developer. So like between the three of us, right, like we sort of also had complementary expertises. So we like a lot of it had been de-risked by everything that happened before I made that decision, like to leap, right? So it was a leap of faith for sure, but there was a lot of de-risking that happened.